Who's up for some more cleansing? Hi guys, welcome to another video. We're back at Kaineng. What a shocker, what a massive shocker. We're going to speak to Zayri again. As soon as this mammoth of a loading screen's done, there we go. Hope you guys are having a good day. I just got in from work. Very good. I always feel good when I get in. Usually when I get in from work, right, I'm not sure when dinner's going to come and all this kind of stuff, and I don't want to be interrupted while I'm recording, so I kind of faff about for ages, but I always feel really good when I get in, literally in the door, shoes off, upstairs, microphone on, let's do it. And that's basically what I've done today. So, hey Zayri, how's it going? Did you miss us? Hard mode only. Oh yeah, we get to add everyone. Hold on, let me add my my next two heroes. I think that's what we're looking for there. And Zayri says, it's good to have you back. I see that you survived your time with Shiro. She is something of a hedgehog, I guess you might say. But don't you dare speak a word of that to her. Well, yeah, I can imagine her flipping shit if you do say something like that to her. Since you've been away, the Ministry of Purity has continued its push to remove the afflicted here on the mainland, and we have been blessed to see many new people joining our ranks. Brilliant. More unorganised civilians, as Surai didn't like at all. That is the power that hope can bring, and that is the momentum that we've gained. I hope that you will get to see Reiku and Ashu speak soon. More references, so you can understand the power of their words. Until then, we are bringing the fight to the outlying territories, the Jade Sea and the Ekavald Forest. Of course, the afflicted still linger there. The Luxons and Kurziks are too busy fighting one another to help their own empire. Does anyone even know why they're still at war? I swear, they're little better than savages. Nevertheless, we will help them. It's our responsibility to lead by example. This is interesting here because I mentioned this when we Let's Played factions, that really it kind of felt like you'd brought an alliance to the Kurziks and Luxons, and yet after the storyline completes they just go back to warring with one another. And the reason for it is actually really loose. It's pretty much, oh yeah, resources, we want their amber, they want our jade. That's pretty much it as far as I can tell. There might be other little things that I've now forgotten that were maybe explained in smaller side quests. And hey, that huge article I keep talking about, there's probably some information there as well, but it is pretty loose anyway. They are still at war, and yeah, there were some afflicted there. Not in many places, granted, but in those couple of explorable areas where there was maybe like one or two mobs of afflicted, we now kind of get to go back there and fight them off. So nevertheless, we all help them. It's our responsibility to lead by example. A large portion of the Ministry's forces are dealing with the afflicted in Guyala Hatchery, and we've been tasked with assaulting their next target. We will travel to Ria's crater. Will you join me? Yes, I'll go at once. The Jade Sea, I've already seen it. I've seen it all. We have seen it all. I think that's a bit of a shame that they had that little bit of dialogue there, because it's kind of like they acknowledge that we, the players, are crying out for more. Oh, I've just realised something. Oh no. Oh no, we have been there. When did I take Tom through here? Don't forget, when we first played, we only saw the Jade Sea on Tom, and he didn't come here. When did I do that? That must have been a while ago, for some other reason. But okay, that's cool. Yeah, because obviously we're going to have another quest later on down there, so... Anyway, what we want to do is go to Ria's Crater. The best way to get there for this quest is go to Seafarer's Rest, not the Oreos Mines. Oreos Mines, by the way, I'm hoping to do a challenge mission on. I actually filmed the second challenge mission thing that we did 3 days ago, and what we did was we filmed Zoshirov's channel, and we filmed the good old, what do you call it? I always forget the name of this one. The Ultram Ruins. So we filmed those. They're kind of like the introductory challenge missions that are in these two regions, which is kind of cool. I'm thinking that I'll put the blog posts, that footage on the blog posts that I do, like the next lore blog post. We're still in Asura week. I feel a little bit bad. I've been kind of dragging out Asura week, haven't I? Maybe I should film that as well today. Thing is, I got like planned for at least 3 different things I want to film today, so we'll see. But we're going to come down here in Ria's Crater. And in fact, this is one of the places where they were afflicted. In the normal game, this is a really difficult place. Like, it's very easy to over-aggro on all of these stairs. And when you come here on the quest, you might look and you'll be like, oh, okay, so there's not actually that many enemies here anymore. This is awesome. You're not going to get completely screwed over. Well, be careful, because that group down there are quite dangerous. Again, this is another situation that I believe that I wiped on when we were playing in hard mode, because it's just, it catches you off guard. If I were you... Well, since I'm playing a frontliner, I kind of want to be away from the rest of the team in case they target me with an AoE so that everyone else can stay alive. But hey, we have the luxury of going back to a 8-man area, so hopefully our complete underworld team build should be alright here. I need to start targeting some monks. But yeah, really, there's something people were talking about a lot in the last episode that I figured I could talk about while we were running around doing this cleansing, was Shiro. But a lot of people were kind of talking about Shiro being a bit weird, like maybe we'd forgotten or didn't understand some stuff about him. Like, what was he when he was immortal? Shiro, really, his story, he wasn't a particularly amazing mortal, as in by way of magic or anything like that while he was alive. Shiro was just a very powerful warrior who was chosen eventually to be the bodyguard of the Emperor, right? Because of his skills as a bodyguard, and he was just sort of implicitly trusted by the Emperor during life. That was the only real special thing to do with him during life. However, obviously Abaddon started to corrupt him, Abaddon corrupted the fortune teller as a means to corrupt Shiro later on, and obviously the Harvest Temple started to happen. This is where things started to get a little bit weird for Shiro, because obviously he had been essentially manipulated into thinking that the Emperor was going to kill him at the festival, which made him then want to kill the Emperor, right? I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with that story. But the actual festival itself, and again, this is something that's not really explained in-game. This goes back to that big long article that I keep talking about. It's explained that this temple really, it's a celebration to Dwayna, okay? It's like a celebration to her and all the... which is quite ironic, really, I guess, because it's a celebration to all the life and beauty I guess that she kind of brought into those lands, particularly with regards to the Echovald Forest, I suppose, as well as the Jade Sea. I mean, it certainly sounds like it was a very lush and bountiful ocean with lots of dragons and stuff there before the Jade Wind struck. So it was this festival to kind of celebrate her and all that she'd brought to the area, right? And what actually happened during it, I believe the story is that they were giving her essentially an offering, and her actual magic was being imbued into the Emperor, okay? Actual Dwayna's magic of a god, the power of a god, was being manipulated during this festival. But midway through the ritual, or whatever it was that the Emperor was doing, while he was channeling Dwayna's magic, that was when Shiro, and this is what I quite like about the faction CGI trailer, because you can kind of see it happening really clearly on that trailer. Mid-cast, or mid whatever was going on with this ritual, that was when Shiro cut him down, and all of this energy, all of this power that was otherwise going to be contained within the Emperor, or I don't know, imbued around the area, I guess, whatever this festival was trying to do, instead of going into the Emperor himself, it went into Shiro. Now, I don't know whether that's specifically because Shiro was trying to absorb that magic, or whether it just happened by accident, or he specifically chose the moment, that exact moment, to cut down the Emperor. In any case, the magic then went into Shiro, which is kind of what made him super powerful and badass, and you kind of see him kicking everyone's ass in the trailer. But of course, he was defeated. So then when Shiro died, because he had all of this magic energy sort of pent up inside him, while he died, then he was cut down obviously by the two champions, the two heroes of the Luxons and the Kurziks. We had St. Victor, was it Vizu the other one? No, oh no, I forget. Archimedes, the guy with the spear and the guy with the urn, weakened him, and then Vizu killed him. It's so cool, and all of these details are all there in the CGI trailer. It's so good. And anyway, when Shiro finally died, all of this magic that had been pent up was then released, and that's what triggered the Jade Wind. It actually did, I assume, the reverse of what the festival was supposed to do, and it stripped all life essentially out of these areas, and that's why everything kind of got petrified. In particular, I think the Echovald Forest, the petrification there was the more important bit. I mean, again in the trailer you can kind of see the birds dying and everything being stripped off, which is kind of, that's the story. So then really, Shiro wasn't... the shockwave didn't come because Shiro was some all-powerful magic guy in life. It was nothing to do with that. It was simply that it was in the middle of this ritual. Then, of course, weird stuff happened later on in his life, and that was due to him being in... well, not in his life, sorry, in his death. That was simply due to the fact he was an envoy. So because he'd committed this massive crime, he was, instead of just being sent to the underworld to serve out a normal punishment... See, I don't know, this is why I talk about the envoys being a bit weird, because does this only happen in Oh, can you guys hear that? Please tell me you can hear that. Oh, it stopped. That's the Death Cream van, the ice cream van that I talked about back when we were Let's Playing Bioshock. It's back now already. It's been freezing cold today. It's March, right? This was the first day I went to work thinking, yeah, screw it, I'm not going to wear a coat, right? And I regretted it. It's been so cold out. It's been a really clear, nice day, but it's been freezing my nipples off all day. But yeah, it's cold, and I guess the ice cream man, he's back, so probably doing these videos. I'm not going to hide it anymore. I'm just going to like celebrate that he's there and try and point out whenever he's around. Anyway, so what was I saying? Something about oh yeah, so basically he became an envoy when he died. Instead of being sent to the underworld like most people would when they died, and then Grenth would judge what happens to them and they go to their respective realm, instead Shiro, because he'd committed this massive atrocity, this massive betrayal of the Empire, of the Emperor himself, he became an envoy, which is supposed to be a punishment, and that essentially means he became a shepherd of the dead. He wasn't the only envoy around there, if you remember. Actually, I believe this is where the Oracle of the Mists, soon, you remember the guy from Senji's Corner, I think you can meet him there actually. or at least in the mission just before. He's the one who decides who the envoys are, which is why he's there when you finally defeat Shiro at the end. But yeah, this is supposed to be a punishment for him, and he's supposed to be just shepherding the dead around. And then for whatever reason, see, this is a bit loose and a bit weird as well. For whatever reason, Shiro starts to abuse his position, while all of these other criminals that are also envoys for whatever their great punishments, their great crimes were, they for some reason didn't rebel, and they didn't start using their powers as envoys for evil. While Shiro did, and they never really explained that, and they never really explained why it took Shiro 200 years to decide that he was gonna sort of become remiss in his duties as an envoy. They don't really go into that either. So there's this is what I kind of feel like there's a little bit more story to be told there, right? With this whole thing to do with Shiro being an envoy and all this kind of stuff. But and this is kind of what I was hoping. Look at all that damage. Oh, that was good. But I think we're going to wipe here. This is a pretty big reap. So yeah, that's kind of the kind of thing, particularly with regard to the envoys, I wanted them to go into more with Winds of Change, but they didn't. It's something especially disappointing when ArenaNet pretty much held up their hands and said, hey, we remember the envoys with the PvP update, and then they didn't go into it anymore, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, that's kind of the story of Shiro. So he was never really that special of a human. There is the question of why he was so desperate to come back to life, right? This was his whole thing, the whole affliction and stuff. Really, that was just a byproduct, as far as I remember it anyway, of him trying to come back to life. That was his whole purpose. He was trying to become mortal again. And you could ask, well, why does he want to do that? Was he really that much stronger in life than he was as an envoy? I mean, he certainly seemed to have more powers as an envoy, and he was certainly much harder to defeat as an envoy. Why would he want to come back to life? I think they don't really offer a reason for it, but I like to think that it's simply because he's human, and that's something I guess all of us at our hearts really want to be. You know, we strive to live, and I think that would be quite a nice little thing. His main motivation for everything that happens in factions, the motivation of it all, just comes down to one man's thirst for life and not being able to accept his own death, which I think is quite a cool, nice little spin to put on the whole factions thing. I think that makes it quite nice anyway. Obviously, though, that's kind of up to your interpretation of the story, because they don't ever really give a good reason for why he so desperately wants to live. But I just think it's just that natural human instinct, especially coming from a warrior as powerful as him. You have to wonder, did he become so skilled just because of that thirst for life in the first place? You know, it was what made him, but it was also what condemned him. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a little bit poetic here. Anyway, so Zayri says, our work is almost at an end. Oh, is it now really at an end? See, I kind of want to count how many times they say that it's almost at an end, because it's never almost at an end. There are like 36 quests for Winds of Change. I quite like this, actually, because we're doing one quest for every video. You can kind of see how far into Winds of Change we are. So what is this? This is quest 10 out of 36. So yeah, it's not almost at an end. Anyway, we have only one last battle to fight in the Jade Sea, but I suggest preparing yourself. It's going to be a big one. And yeah, I don't know whether that means it's specifically going to be a long episode or what. It shouldn't be. I think that this next one actually possibly is. Oh, no, it's not one that you can cheat through. Oh no, this shouldn't be too long. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys next time. I don't think it will be a very long video tomorrow, but I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. I am actually going to go film the lore thing. I keep telling myself to film the lore questions and answers, and I've still not gone around to doing it, so I'm going to go do that now. I hope you guys have a nice day, a wonderful evening, and I guess I will see you next time. See you later, everyone. I wonder if I can still get some ice cream. No, it's too late.